Welcome back, channel viewers. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial video for a new crypto exchange that I'm very excited to be working with, and that is Bitunix. Now, before we get into anything, there are timestamps down below in the middle of the video description area if you want to go back and skip around to certain sections. And Bitunix is running a special campaign for my followers only. The link will be at the top of the video description area if you do want to sign up. The campaign started a few days ago on November 21st, and it runs 1 month until December 21st. So you have about 26 days left from today. Now, it's a simple deposit and volume-based trading campaign. So the way the campaign works is you're going to want to scroll down here to get the specific bonus amounts for each trading threshold. So if you deposit $100 into your Bitunix account and then trade $5,000 on their futures platform, you get a $20 USDT futures bonus. More on what futures bonuses can be used for in a second. Now, if you deposit $500, a little bit more, and then trade $25,000, then you get an additional $100 futures bonus on top of the $20. If you deposit $1,000 and trade $50,000, then you get an additional $200 on top of the first two bonuses. And if you deposit $2,000 into the platform and trade $100,000 on the futures exchange, then you get an additional $400 USDT futures bonus on top of the first three bonuses. Now, what can this futures bonus be used for? It can be used to cover trading fees, and you can also trade with the bonus money on the futures platform. And if you make profits on those specific trades, then you can withdraw the profits. More about it. So once you reach a trading threshold, you will be given the bonus, and then you need to activate the bonus within 7 days of receiving it. And then once you activate it, you have 7 days to use the bonus. So you definitely want to start using that bonus immediately upon activating it. And there are no regional geographic restrictions on this campaign whatsoever. And again, the sign up link specifically for this campaign is going to be at the top, the description area right here. Now, I haven't covered Bitunix yet before, so I don't yet have a sample video with the sign up link, but it's going to be right here, top of the description area. And again, this campaign has about 26 days left. It ends on December 21st, so you have plenty of time to still partake. Now, what specifically do I like about Bitunix as an exchange? Well, a bunch of things. Huge selection of coins to trade from, namely, very good depth, very good liquidity for trading pairs, clean interface, easy to navigate around, easy to figure out where all the buttons are and what each button means, not clunky in any way whatsoever. But most importantly, in the fickle world of crypto exchanges, often the less you hear about a crypto exchange, the better, because you typically only hear about them when problems are happening. Thankfully, with Bitunix, you have never once heard about any withdrawal problems. You've never ever heard about any sketchy liquidation problems, and Bitunix has never ever had a hack or major security incident. They have a flawless security track record in their 3 years of existence. Bitunix Exchange officially launched in October of 2022, 3 years ago. So if you're not too familiar with the exchange, it's because Bitunix is one of the relatively newer ones. What else? In total, the exchange has over 700 different trading pairs on their spot exchange, and Bitunix offers about 500 different perpetual future pairs on their futures exchange. As for rankings, Bitunix is currently ranked the number 39 biggest spot market exchange in the world, and they're the number 33 biggest futures exchange. And yes, Bitunix is available in the USA. I'm in the US. I can trade in Bitunix. They have a money service business license there. They are fully registered with the US Financial Crimes Commission. No VPN is needed. You don't even need to do KYC within certain withdrawal limits. Bitunix is available to people in the USA. If you Google it, you might get answers all over the place. You can use it in the US. You can also use Bitunix in Canada. You can use it in the United Kingdom, most spots of Europe, and pretty much everywhere else. And as mentioned, you don't need to use VPN for anything on the platform. And as for KYC, it just depends what kind of daily withdrawal limits you are looking for. So to go to the KYC section, you click on your profile icon at the top right here, and then click on verification. Now, first, I'm just going to show you a table which shows you what your limits are either with or without KYC. So if you do not do any KYC, then you can deposit any amount of crypto into the platform and start trading with it, and you can still withdraw $500,000 USDT per day. So again, no KYC, you can deposit any amount of crypto into the platform, start trading, and you can withdraw up to 500,000 USDT per day. If you don't do KYC, you cannot do any fiat deposit, you cannot do any fiat withdrawal, so fiat options are totally unavailable. Now, if you do KYC, your withdrawal limit goes up from $500,000 per day to $2 million USDT per day, and you can do fiat deposit So after you sign up for an account, it's totally up to you whether you want to do KYC or not. But one thing I definitely recommend you do is set up your two-factor authentication settings. You're going to go up to the top right here, click on the profile icon, verification, that's where KYC is done. Security is where 2FA is done. So see, I've already set mine up. I highly recommend Google Authenticator. Basically, it's an app on your phone, Google Authenticator, and then every time you log into your Bitunix account and every time you make a withdrawal, you have to enter both your regular password and a 6-number code that Google Authenticator will give you when you open the app, and it changes every 30 seconds. The advantage of Google Authenticator is that no one can SIM swap you. They might be able to change your password and get your password, but they also will need to add the Google Authenticator to log in or to make withdrawals, and so they won't be able to do that even if they're able to successfully SIM swap you. And if you have Google Authenticator set up, it's probably not necessary to also do mobile phone verification and email verification. That's sort of overkill, because with Google Authenticator, they literally cannot log into your account unless they physically steal your actual phone and then have your screensaver in there inputted, and then they're actually looking at the Google Authenticator code. So it's basically impossible to log in. What else do we have here? Anti-phishing code. This basically means every email from Bitunix, if you have it toggled on, it will give you a specific code that only that email will display. So if a clone copy phishing website from Bitunix comes, then it will not display the code. So it helps safeguard against that. Quick withdrawal. If you want to make it so you can withdraw without actually entering your Google Authenticator code, you can then enable that setting yourself. And then account activity. If you click on that, it basically shows you all your logins. I click on this like at least once a month or so, just to make sure all the logins are for me. In Boston, Massachusetts, you don't see some shady login attempt from like Russia or Brazil. Some other interesting tabs to show. If you click on more and then proof of reserves, this gives you, as you guessed it, their full proof of reserves. You can view the audit. So currently their Bitcoin reserves, they actually have 104% more in proof of reserves than their actual Bitcoin holdings. That's a good thing. 103% ETH reserve ratio, 105% USDT reserve ratio. Full transparency like this is exactly what you want to see. And also in the More tab, if you click on Bitunix Academy, this gives you some really interesting articles that goes kind of beyond the scope of this video right here. If you want to read some articles, watch some videos on how to futures trade or high-level technical analysis, it is all right here. Now let's move on to deposits. So to go here, you're going to go top center, add funds. Again, click add funds, top center. Now, first we're going to cover fiat deposits. Now, for fiat deposits, you always have to do KYC. You have to be verified. That's pretty much standard across all exchanges. For crypto deposits, you don't need to do KYC. So anyways, fiat deposits. Now, it doesn't appear that ACH transfers for USA banking customers are available, but if you're in Europe, SEPA transfers are available. So to do that, you're going to click on fiat deposit via SEPA transfer, this option right here. Up here, you're going to click the amount in euro that you want to deposit into the platform, then click either SEPA or SEPA Instant, click confirm, and then boom, the funds will be in your account in 1 to 2 business days. Now, if on the other hand, you are not in Europe, but you still want to do a fiat deposit, let's say you're in USA, Canada, Australia, etc., you just have to go through the credit debit card option. This option is available for people anywhere, Europe, USA, Canada, Japan, Australia, and then these funds, when you do a credit debit card deposit, the crypto that you choose to buy is immediately in your account on Bitunix, whereas the fiat deposit versus SEPA transfer, bank transfer, that takes 1 to 2 business days. And then credit debit card deposits, that does require KYC, just like the SEPA transfer does. So you're going to click on credit debit card. Here, you're going to choose the amount in fiat you want to buy. If you're in the USA, you would choose US dollar, otherwise euro, Australian dollar, Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, etc. Here, you're going to choose the specific crypto you want to buy with your fiat, Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, etc. Then you are going to click on next. Then you have to have your phone number bound. I don't, that's why it says that. You're going to enter your credit card information, etc. And then boom, you're good to go. Now, the minimum fiat deposit for each transaction is $15 and the maximum is $10,000. And if you're depositing crypto, the minimums are just less. It's just a minimum 10 cents per transaction, and there is no maximum. So let's go over to crypto deposits. You're going to go to add funds, top center, then click this top option, deposit crypto. Here, you're going to choose the coin. So basically, any coin that is tradable on Bitunix, you can deposit into the platform. And now here, you're going to select the network. So this brings us to a big advantage of Bitunix. If you're depositing USDT, for example, Tether, you can deposit it on 14 different networks, all the big ones, USDT on Tron, on Ethereum, on Solana, on Polygon, on BNB, you name it. Coinbase, you can only deposit USDT on one network, Ethereum. Bitunix, 14 different networks. USDC, same thing. You can deposit it on 9 networks, all the ones that I just mentioned. So so once you click your specific network, let's say USDC on Ethereum, then it is going to give you the specific deposit address. When you deposit it, make sure you're depositing the coin on the correct network. If you chose USDC on Ethereum, make sure you're depositing your USDC ETH into the platform and not your USDC Tron into the platform. Always make sure it matches this network, and then you're just going to click confirm right there. And crypto deposits usually take a minute or two. They can be instant. Every once in a while you have one that'll take an hour or two, rarely longer than that. Now, as for withdrawals, as mentioned, it doesn't look like fiat withdrawals are turned on for any regions currently. That is probably because Bitunix is a newer exchange. It's only 3 years old. It takes a while to build up those relationships with banks, but that can change at any minute, at any given time. Pretty soon they might turn on fiat withdrawals for one specific country, so stay tuned. As for crypto withdrawals, so it's a little bit harder to get here than you think. There isn't any specific pull down link. One way to get here to crypto withdrawals, click on add funds, deposit crypto, and then withdraw right there. Again, method number 1, you are going to click on add funds at the top center, click on deposit crypto, and then left side withdraw. The other method to go to is you're going to hover your cursor over this square at the top right. Again, hover your cursor over the square, and then down here you're going to click on any of these like spot account. It's going to take you to the same pull down menu, and then you would click on withdraw. As for how to withdraw, it is pretty straightforward. It is basically just like depositing, but you choose either on-chain withdrawal or internal transfer. On-chain withdrawal is the regular way where you just enter the crypto address of the wallet you are sending to. Internal transfer means you are transferring to a wallet by entering that wallet's email address, a mobile phone number, or a UID. So for most people, it's going to be on-chain withdrawal. And again, straightforward, just choose the coin you want to withdraw, like USDC, then choose which network, like USDC on Base, USDC on Solana, etc. Enter the withdrawal address. There might be a different minimum, like $1 withdrawal, minimum withdrawal, $2, $3, depending on which coin and network. And then also the fee is an advantage. It's usually around $1. It changes for each specific coin and network. Like right now, USDC on Solana, it's a 0.8, like 0.8, less than $1 fee. If you do USDT on BNB, that is free. All BNB withdrawals are free. And then if you do USDC on Solana, let's say, 0.8 USDC on, let's try Polygon. Let's see what that one is. That's 1 USDC. Most other exchanges, it's like a $5 flat withdrawal fee. No, Bitunix, it's usually right around $1. And to see which coins are available for trading on Bitunix, you can go top left, Markets, Marketplace. Again, top left, Markets, Marketplace. So you can either toggle futures trading or spot trading. So if you have futures trading toggled, go down here. You probably want to click all. If you want to sort by different sectors, you can click AI, RWA, Alpha. But again, for futures, they have over 500 different futures pairs listed: big coins, small coins, utility coins, meme coins, AI coins, you name it. Spot trading, it's even more. They have about over 700 different pairs listed for trading. Again, so you can separate out by the different sectors, categories in this column right here. Now, spot trading versus future trading. So I assume most people probably know the difference as of now in crypto, but spot trading, you are actually buying the token. So the only way you can make money is if the price of that token goes up after you buy it. Then eventually you will sell the token, and then if the price went up during the meantime, you make money. If the price went down, you lose money. So you can only profit if the price goes up. Futures trading is different. You can profit in either direction depending on which you predict and whether that's right or not. So in futures trading, you never actually buy the token. You are just opening up a position, betting that either the price is going to go up of a certain token or it's going to go down. You never actually buy the physical token, so the trade is entirely on the exchange, and then after you're done with the trade, you will close the position, either the long if you think it's going to go up, or you'll close the short if you thought it was going to go down. And then if the direction went in the direction you thought, then you make money. Let's go to spot trading first. I'm going to click on spot, top center, and then spot again. Now we're going to go top left. This is where I would choose the coin that I want to buy, or if I want to sell the coin, if I already own it, then that. So I'm going to buy some Solana. So here's Sol. Make sure you clicked on spot trading. Click on that. So Solana is currently trading at $138.37. Let's move over to the right side of the screen. Limit order versus market order. So market order is simple. That just means I want my order to fill right now at the current price, even if I'm kind of affected by slippage a little bit, even if my personal buy pushes the price up of sold just a tiny little bit, I don't care. I don't want to wait for a better price. I just want it to fill right now at the current market price. Limit order is a little bit different. Limit order means, yes, I want to buy this token, but I think that the price is going to go down a little bit in the next few hours or day or so. And so I only want my buy to fill if the price goes down to a certain predetermined level. So if Sol's at 138 right now, let's say I think tonight it's going to go down to 135. So I'm going to put in order price 135. Here's the amount of Sol that I want to buy. Let's just say 1 Sol. So this means if Sol goes down to $135, then fill my buy of 1 Sol immediately. But if Sol doesn't go to 135, my order is never filled. I don't pay any fees or anything. The order just drops off, so it's almost no risk right there. And then make sure you're on buy if you want to buy. Make sure you're on sell if you want to sell. Now let's go to the bottom right of the screen. You'll see some important settings, TP and SL. So take profit and stop loss, it stands for. Very important setting. You can set it for any sort of buy you make. It doesn't matter if it's a limit order or a market order. Take profit means if for any particular coin that you buy, if that trade is ever in profit for a certain amount that you will designate, like let's say 30%, then you want to instantly close that position at the 30% profit rate, regardless of whether you're in front of your computer or not. Stop loss, it's the opposite. That means that for any one buy you made, if that coin goes down, and then if you are in the loss for any amount you determine, let's say the coin is 15% in the loss, then you want to immediately close that position, cut your losses, regardless of whether you are in front of your computer or not. So then you would click on Buy Sol right here, and then you would go down here, click on Order History. This will show you the filled order that you just made, the time of the order, what coin you bought, how much of the coin you bought, what the exact price was, etc. Open orders, this is for an order that hasn't quite been filled, like a limit buy. You're still waiting for it to hit that strike price, but it hasn't yet hit it. Now we're going to move on to futures trading, which you're going to go top center here, futures, and then USDT-M futures. And as I already explained, futures trading, you never actually buy the coin. You are just betting directionally whether you think a specific price of a coin is going to go up or down. The trade stays on the exchange the entire time. Then top left, it is same as before. This is where you enter the name of the coin you want to open up a position with. So I'm going to do Solana again for simplicity purposes. Right side here, open means you are going to initiate. You are going to open up a position. Close means you're going to terminate. You're going to end. You're going to close an existing open position. Down here, open long, this means that you believe a coin is going to go up in price. You are bullish in that coin, so you're going to open up a long. Long means it's going to go up. Open up a short, that means you believe a coin is going to go down in price. You are bearish on it, so you're going to open up a short. You believe the price is going to go down. Limit versus market, same thing as before. Market just means open up this position right now at the current prices. Don't wait for a better price. Limit means you believe you can get a better price again. So if I'm open up a short, then I believe that I can get a better price, means I think the price is going to go up currently, and then it's going to go down. So then it's going to go down even more than at current prices. So that's me getting a better price. I would say if Sol's at 139 right now, and I'm going to open up a short, I think the price is going to temporarily go up to 143. So only open up my short if Sol hits 143. And if indeed it does hit that, then open up a 1 Sol short. And you can also set take profit and stop loss options for futures trades in much the same way I just showed you how to do it for spot trades. For futures trades, you're going to toggle this box, check it, that says TP-SL right there bottom right. And for each of these settings, you can set it either according to a certain price that the token reaches that you want to automatically close out the trade, or according to an ROI percentage that your trade either earns or loses, and you want to automatically close out the position there. So for example, let's say you're opening up a Solana long. Current price of Sol is 138. You want to close out your Sol position automatically if the price rises 150, so you're like 10% of the profit. Approximately, so you'd enter price 150 right there, open long, boom, you're good to go. On the contrary, let's say you're opening up a Solana short, meaning if the price of Sol goes up, you're going to lose money, but you just don't want to worry about prices. You just want to put an ROI percentage. So you can go down here, stop loss, toggle this box, says ROI percentage. You can enter, say, 20%, meaning if my trade is in 20% loss, whether it's a long or a short, then I want to automatically close it out. Now we're going to talk about cross margin versus isolated margin. The options are in the top right here. Default is set to cross margin. That's probably the slightly more common one when it comes to futures trading, but you can also switch it to isolated margin if you'd like. So what's the difference? Isolated margin means if you're in a losing position in a futures trade, then once you approach and equal the amount of margin that you put into your trade, when your losses equal that amount of margin, the trade is going to automatically be closed out, automatically liquidated, even if you have additional money in your exchange account beyond the money that you put towards margin. So for example, if you put $5,000 in a margin trade, it's a losing position. Once the losses equal exactly $5,000, you will be instantly liquidated, instantly closed out, even if you have, say, an additional $2,000 in your account that was not used to margin. So the benefits of, isolated, basically the losses just can't extend on and on and on and just totally wipe out your account. Obviously, the bad news is that you can get liquidated very quickly on a trade, but the losses are semi-minimized. Cross margin means your trade will only be liquidated, it will only be closed out if the losses equal the total amount of money you have in your Bitunix account. So let's say you put $5,000 in margin towards a trade, and then you have a separate $5,000 just sitting in your Bitunix futures account that hasn't been used towards the collateral. Then when your losses equal $5,000, the amount of margin, you will not be liquidated. But once your losses hit $10,000 total, then you will be liquidated. So the advantages of cross margin is you will be stopped out less frequently of a trade, you will be liquidated less frequently, but obviously the losses can totally wipe out your account. Now we're going to talk about the specific amount of leverage, whether it be 10x, 20x, 60x, 100x. I assume you've heard the terms before. Keep in mind, this is just a very brief, broad overview of futures trading on Bitunix. It's not a very high level. It's just a quick, brief beginner style overview. But anyways, on Bitunix, some of the big coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum go up to 125x. That is the maximum. Solana here, it goes up to 100x. Some of the smaller coins might go up to 20x, 40x, etc. But what does 10x leverage mean on a Solana long? So let's dive right into that. So a 10x Solana position, let's do a market trade to keep it simple. So the first thing you can do, go to cost value. Cost value means margin or collateral. Enter the amount of margin that you want to put in. Margin is just the amount you want to put in, you need to put in initially just to start the trade. So if you put in, say, $1,000 margin or collateral at 10x leverage, the real total value of the trade is $10,000. That's $1,000 margin times 10x, which means if you open up a Solana long and then the price of SOL just keeps going up, up, and up, and up, a maximum amount you can make from this trade is $10,000. On the other hand, if Solana goes in the opposite direction, if it goes down and you opened up a Solana long, then once your losses reach $1,000 margin, the position will immediately be liquidated. You will lose that $1,000, but not more, as long as you were on isolated margin. And a Solana short is going to be in the reverse. So let's again do a $1,000 margin trade. Now I changed it from 10x to 40x leverage right here. So this means that for a Solana short, if the price of SOL just starts going down instantly and doesn't stop, the maximum you can make is $40,000. That's 40 times $1,000 margin. On the other hand, since it's a short, if the price of Solana goes up quickly and then goes up by not even that much, then you're at risk of quickly losing your $1,000 margin. But as long as you're in isolated leverage trading, then your losses will be capped at your $1,000 margin. And down here, the two key metrics you want to look at: estimated liquidation price for a long and estimated liquidation price for a short. This is the price where if SOL hits it, you will automatically lose your collateral. So again, with $1,000 margin collateral and 40x leverage, if you open up a Solana long, current price is 138.09. If Solana drops to 135.33, then you lose your $1,000 collateral. On the other hand, if you open up a short, Solana is currently 138.09. If it goes up to 140.85, that's the opposite direction you want for a short, then you lose your $1,000. And if you change your leverage from 40x to something else, it's going to instantly change your liquidation prices. So for the time being, memorize that 40x, or liquidation price for a long, as I just discussed, is around 135. Our liquidation price for a short is around 141. Now I'm going to decrease the leverage from 40x to 20x, hit confirm. Boom, my liquidation price for a long went down from 135 to 132. My liquidation price for a short went up from 141 to 144. So that makes perfect sense. 50%. Since we decreased the leverage from 40x to 20x, it means the trade is now less risky, so it pushed the liquidation prices further out from the current prices, and it is harder to get liquidated. But on the flip side, since we decreased the leverage, then the maximum profit potential is going to be cut in half, since we cut the leverage amount by exactly 50%. Then after you have all your settings inputted, you would click on either open long or open short, then click on confirm, and boom, you have initiated a futures trade. It's going to show up right here in positions. You can, it would give you like if your trade is in the green, is in the profit, by how much, etc. Then again, this is just a bare bones quick look at futures trading. I might do a dedicated, more advanced futures trading video for how to trade on Bitunix in a little bit. But now let's talk about copy trading. So to go to copy trading, do futures, copy trading. Click on that. But first of all, what is copy trading exactly? Well, in a nutshell, it allows you to copy the trades in real time of a specific trader who is on a lead trader leaderboard on Bitunix, so you don't have to do anything. It's just automated trading. So in a nutshell, this is how it works. There is a leaderboard, as mentioned, of lead traders. These are people who are trading with their own real money on Bitunix, and then you can see exactly how profitable these traders are. You can sort by a bunch of different metrics, like, you know, how much their portfolio is up or down in the last 30 days percentage-wise, how much it's up or down gross-wise. You can see what their win rate on trades are. That's a percentage of trades that are profitable. You can see exactly which coins they're buying and what are they doing. Are they doing longs, shorts? How long do they hold positions? You can look at their total assets under management. You can see how much their portfolio has grown over the last day, weeks, months, etc. You can see how many people are copy trading them. And then once you assess all those metrics, analyze them, you are going to choose one specific lead trader to trade, and it's just as I mentioned. You just start copying all of their trades in real time according to a few specific settings and metrics I am going to show you. You don't have to do anything. It happens in your sleep. If they open a Bitcoin position, you open up a Bitcoin position. If they then close that Bitcoin position, you close it. Easy as that. Now, I'm going to probably do a more specific advanced copy trading tutorial video separate later on, where I just talk about how I analyze the leaderboard, the specific things I look for. This is just a quick 1 to 2 minute sort of bare bones look and examination of what copy trading is. But again, as mentioned, it's just futures. You are not copy trading somebody's spot trades, only their futures trades. That's why to get to this tab, as I showed you, you go to futures and copy trading. Now, it's a 10% profit share ratio for anyone that you copy trade, meaning of all the profits you make by copy trading one specific lead trader, you pay him 10% of those profits as a commission. And if you don't make any profits off that one lead trader, you don't pay them anything. So it's sort of risk-free in that sense. Now, here are all the lead traders you can choose to copy trade. You can sort by their P&L, their ROI, win rate, assets under management, all the metrics I just talked about. I'm just going to click on this guy's profile here, Sky, hone in on it, because it's a pretty good one to look at. So the first thing I scroll down to is assets under management. So he's currently trading with $10,000 of his own money. That's not great. I'd prefer if he had a little bit more skin in the game, but it's better than zero, so it doesn't eliminate him. Now, his performance over the last 180 days, 6 months, his portfolio is up 84%, which equates to about $6,900. So he's grown his portfolio from roughly $3,000 or $4,000 to $10,000 in 6 months. So decent, not unbelievable. But if you look at the graph of his ROI over the last 6 months, it is interesting. He was hot the first month or so. Then he had a couple huge losing trades right here, almost completely blew up his portfolio on the downside. But in the last 5 months, since mid-July, he has been steadily building the portfolio up. Very consistent. That's what I like. Each week, it looks like his portfolio is up just a little bit, which equates to 84% overall. From here to there, it would be much bigger than 80%, 84%. It would be like 500+%. Now, what coins is he buying? A big mix of coins. For the last 6 months, 30% of his positions have been Sol, 25% Ethereum, ENA coin, 14%, Doge, 8%, Bitcoin, 8.3%. So he's not just like a 1 or 2 coin expert. He does trade a fair amount of different coins. What else? He has been a lead trader for 322 days. That's almost a year, about 11 months. He's had a total number of people copy trading him of 785, but currently he only has 57 people copy trading him. So I think he might have had a decent amount in the first month or two. Then he lost a bunch of followers when he blew up his portfolio, and he's been steadily building up his follower account right here. So overall, this guy is pretty good. I like his consistency. I would definitely consider him to copy trade. And that is it for this beginner's tutorial video for how to trade on Bitunix exchange. So again, timestamps will be in the middle of the video description area if you want to go back and skip around to certain sections. And if you do want to sign up for an account at Bitunix and get all those bonuses that I talked about, use the top link in the video description area. That also helps support the channel. If you have any questions about Bitunix that I didn't answer in the video, or you're still wondering, just ask in the comment section. I will try to get back to you. Hit the fucking subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will be back later with a new video. Ben signing out. Catch you later.